operator, please connect me to Eddie Onslow.
Hello, this is Eddie Onslow. How can I help you today?
Hello, sir. This is Maggie Hayes, news reporter for the Daily Gazette. I was wondering if you would be willing to do an interview with me for the show.
All right, of course. What time should I be there and where shall we meet?
45 Bayview Drive, about mid-afternoon.
All right, see you then.
Welcome, Eddie. Please come in and make yourself comfortable.
Thank you, madam.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. First I'm going to show you around the set, so come on. We have the highest end telephone going. But this is the one most commonly used. We use this one for interviews, parties, and for watching the news and listening to the radio. We're almost done, so keep up. We've got the newest piano, another sewing station. This one's where we make our fabric to sew with. And then you take the thread and you just pull it all. Shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Toronto. It's Tuesday, December 16th, 1923, and this is the Daily Gazette. I'm Maggie Hayes, and joining us tonight is none other than Eddie Onslow.
Thank you, thank you.
How are you tonight, Eddie?
I'm good, Maggie, and thanks for having me out on the show.
Let's start with a bit about you. You're a first baseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long have you been playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I have been playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs almost 6 years now, starting on 1918.
Wow, that's a while. You must really love the game, Eddie.
Yes, Maggie, I do. Baseball is my passion.
Good for you, Eddie. How old are you right now, Eddie?
I'm 30 years old right now, Maggie.
No, you don't look a day over 13. You play in the AA International League for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this year your batting average was .347. Wow.
Indeed, that is correct.
How many games have you played with the Toronto Maple Leafs so far, Eddie?
I have played 797 games with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and hopefully I'll play more. They are great guys.
I bet they are, Eddie. So, Eddie, how many games have you played this year?
This year I have played 127 games, Maggie.
And how many times were you at bat this year?
I was at bat 455 times.
Wow. I heard, Eddie, that each baseball is hand-stitched with 108 stitches. Is this true?
Yes, Maggie, that is correct.
Wow. Eddie, how many times this year have you made it to home plate, second base, and third base?
Well, Maggie, this year I've made it to home plate 155 times. I've made it to second base 29 times, and I've made it to third base 7 times.
Well, that's impressive, Eddie. How many home runs did you have this year?
Well, Maggie, this year I have had 11 home runs.
Incredible. Now, this might be an odd question.
Oh, God.
But our viewers want to know how much money you make.
Oh, well, Maggie, the average baseball player makes $5,000, but some big shots like Babe Ruth get paid as much as $52,000.
Ah, yes, Babe Ruth, the one who got 41 home runs this year. How has he affected Canadian baseball?
Well, Maggie, Babe Ruth is someone all players want to be like. He's a real inspiration, and since he had his very first home run on Canadian soil, I feel like he has brought the baseball big times to Canada. And I remember watching that game, and it was against the Toronto Maple
Well, Eddie, for all the fans out there that want to go out and watch one of the games, can you tell us how much it costs for one ticket to a game?
Well, Maggie, tickets do cost $1. And you know, many people come out and watch the games now just for a fun activity.
That's interesting. Now, I've heard a bit about you. Why don't you tell us a bit about your team, the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Alright, well, they're a minor league team with many connections in the major leagues. And they play in the International League. They're a AAA minor league team that in 1920 won 108 games.
Wow, folks, that's a lot of games. The Toronto Maple Leafs are a very popular team right now. Can you tell us where they play?
Well, right now, we practice and play at Harlan's Point Stadium, but we were having a new stadium built, and it should be ready around 1926, we're hoping.
Really? Can you tell us who is designing this stadium?
Yeah, well, it is being designed by Chapman, Oxley, and Bishop.
Wonderful. And what will this new stadium be called?
It will be named after the team, so it will be called the Toronto Maple Leaf Stadium. And it will be built in Toronto, of course.
That sounds great. Now, let's talk about baseball in general. I know we have several minor league teams, but who are our major league teams in Canada right now?
Well, right now we have 5 teams. We have the Calgary Broncos, the Edmonton Eskimos, the Moose Jaw Robin Hoods, the Regina Senators, and the Saskatoon Quakers.
We have a lot of teams, Eddie. Are most of the players on the teams from the place that the team is from?
Yeah, they usually are.
Now, Eddie, the 1920s seem to be the golden age for sports. Can you tell us a bit about this and what's happening?
All right, well, yeah, that is true. And this is because more and more people have money to play sports, so sports popularity is growing. In fact, at the beginning of 1920, baseball was really popular in Western Canada.
Interesting. Now, right now, baseball is just as popular as hockey, correct?
Yeah, right now, baseball is a pretty big thing.
Is it true that some Japanese players are coming to Canada just to play baseball?
Yeah, right now our international friends are coming over because of our great baseball teams.
Wow. Now, a bit about the history of baseball. Baseball was created in 1839 in New York. Right now, baseball can be played by anyone who has skill because it's mostly based on participation. How has baseball been doing, Eddie?
Well, Maggie, baseball is becoming more professional and is doing well due to the fact that we have many talented players. In fact, most of our sports heroes right now are amateurs.
That just goes to show, Eddie, that anyone can make it in sports. Eddie, what about the game being played by girls? Do they play or is it just guys?
Here in Canada, baseball is a unisex sport, so it's both played by males and females.
Fascinating. And what do you think about this?
I think it's great that both genders get to play and love the sport. Also, baseball's popularity grew to the fact that it's played by both genders. Most people even say that this is helping with the movement of equality.
That's great, Eddie. Baseball is doing some great things for Canada, it seems. Also, I know how much the radio and newspaper are helping make the game even more popular.
That is right.
Are there any problems in baseball right now?
Well, yeah, there are a few problems.
Okay, like what?
Well, you see there are several financial problems for baseball teams right now in the 1920s. But even though there are problems, baseball in Canada is flourishing.
Well, Eddie, we have a surprise for you and all the fans out there. We found some images, including a portrait of our own Eddie Onslow.
Lovely.
you shouldn't do 6 today, partner. Joe Montano leads things off up there as we start the ball game. Hunt winds up the first pitch of the ball game at a fastball high for ball 1. Stevie told you a beautiful afternoon for baseball here at Crosley Field in Cincinnati, Ohio. Joe Amalfitano, the second sacker up there.
Well, that was great.
Yes, it was, Maggie.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Tune in tomorrow on the Daily Gazette. Cut! Okay. That's my baby. Ew, is there a rat pee down here? Ew, I'm gonna die.
Shall we begin? Yes, sir, ma'am.
Okay. Welcome, Eddie. Please come and reach us.